Welcome back, everybody, and we are facing the Monster Hunter Magisa. Because she poisoned Reyna, and that's not cool. So as you can see, Reyna starts off with a poison debuff, obviously in tune with the story. That's pretty cool, actually, when you consider it. It means there's relevance to the story. You can remove it from her, I think. But Magisa is not that hard, so there you go. So yeah, we were on our way up to look for our, King Tycoon's dragon when this douche of a monster hunter came over and shot a poison dart at Reyna. That was not cool. Thanks, Faris. There we go. So now we're going to go ahead and keep going here. And see, there you go. I can cure her. She's the only one that has the antidote spell, and I didn't want to use my item stocks. So, with that done, now we are up here at the top of the mountain. And I don't know why the audio skipped there, but it did. That's weird. Okay. The dragon. Tis a terrible wound. And yes, Faris will continue to have the pirate voice because I like it. It's alright, dragon. We're here to help you. Aww, he's not in good shape. Reyna, what are you doing? It's alright. Stay back. He needs these. People might actually remember earlier on in the mountain, we had an issue. Use this on him, quick. Where if we stepped in these purple flowers, it poisoned us, and it's because it's a poisonous plant. Another good concept to take things out of the fourth wall. Please get well, dragon. And he's back! Awesome! Why'd you have to go and do that, baby? Oh, don't touch the grass, dragon. Aw, he's not happy. He knows what happened. Reyna's poison is gone! Because dragons are mystical like that. Thank you, dragon. She's healed, so let's go. I really don't like high places. And you're now worried about that? What's so funny? Come on, we're flying out of here. Yeehaw, baby. I love it. He has to drag him onto the dragon. Get it? Dragging onto the dragon? I think I just found my episode title. Okay, so this actually gives us another mode of transportation, because now we can travel by air. Now, we can't travel too far, but basically over mountains, and that's really what we need. So I believe you can't take the dragon onto the ocean, but... Oh no, you can. But basically this will allow us passage to the Kingdom of Walz, which is where the water crystal resides. Alright, go ahead and hit the inn here. And let's see what we have to do in Walz. Obviously, we need to get access to the water crystal. Alright, so at this point, I know that I transitioned for some grinding, because it was sorely needed to prepare for things that will happen here. So right now we are making our way to Walz Castle. And there we go. Good music, though. I will at least give them that. Walz is invincible because it is protected by the water. Oh, if only Tycoon could say that. Princess Reina, this is a surprise. King Walz, how well you look. I'm afraid we must ask you to please stop amplifying the water crystal. That's a big request. My dear, that's something I cannot do. The crystals make our entire way of life possible. Maybe that's the problem. But at this rate, the crystal will shatter. I heard about the wind crystal, but... Oh, I can see the words coming. The water crystal may not react in the same way. Furthermore, I am certain the people would object. And you're gonna get your crystal shattered. Listen, there's no time to debate. Is Final Fantasy finally gonna get preachy to me? Yeah, kind of. What? Oh, and what could that be? Oh no, a meteor! It's like it happened in Tycoon. What will this do? Mode 7 explosion! Something terrible's happened! A meteor has fallen near Walz Tower! Of course it has. What? Assemble the guard! To the tower at once! Yes, sir! I don't know why he paused. He's like Shatner. You pardon me, Princess Reina, but an emergency has arisen. We'll speak again later. Let's go! And something tells me I'm gonna have to go and fix your mess, aren't I? Well, while I'm here, I might as well investigate the castle. I mean, you know, it's not like King Walz is gonna object. He's not even here. So while I am doing that, this is usually the time when I do go into some games that I am currently playing to give some opinions on them. Which, if you guys are new, this happens usually. So, first of all, welcome if you're new. So, first of all, I think I was talking about Dragon Age Origins when last we had a part happen. And I was trying to explain the recent DLC that I just finished, which was Leliana's Song. Yeah, so there's a character, Leliana, that has, for some weird reason, entered the Chantry, even though she's kind of like a roguish character. So the DLC tries to explain this by, you know, because she's actually from the Kingdom of Orlais, a neighboring kingdom, and people are wondering, well, what's she doing in Ferelden? So that's where this DLC comes in, and I know people are going to get on my case, but I have to call it Assassin's Creed Dragon Age, because the music just sounds like it could have happened in Assassin's Creed 2. And also the story is kind of like Ezio's story, so I had to giggle at that. But yeah, so basically you are a thief of sorts. You work with a woman named Marjolaine, and you have two compatriots that help you in your crimes. Then you find out that one of the things that you stole was actually military documents, Orlesian military documents, and Leliana's still fairly loyal to her crown, so she actually proposes to Marjolaine that they don't do this, but Marjolaine has been bought and paid for. So that's kind of the downside here, and here's a little funny tidbit. So this is actually a really hard part of the game, and I walked in woefully unprepared. As you can see, 200 from a simple hit. Ow, that's like a boss to me right now. But yeah, so Marjolaine betrays you, and Leliana basically spends the rest of the time trying to get her vengeance on Majolaine. And whether or not she gets vengeance, it actually ends the story there. Whether or not she did or not, it doesn't matter, because the next step that she took was she joined the Chantry and stayed in Ferelden for your character to find. So that's Leliana's song, and then the last thing that I did in Dragon Age was I started up the expansion Awakening, which is basically... I'm not too far into it, but I was on my way to my Grey Warden's camp, and it got attacked by the Darkspawn. Supposedly, you know, because they shouldn't be organized. Oh, look at this. I'm Lone Wolf the Pickpocket. Let me out! Okay, sure. Ha! What luck! Now, there actually will be consequences to letting him out later, and I'm not happy about them. I'll never forget this. Yeah. There will actually be consequences to this, but there's also some pluses to it, so I let him out. Sorry. Oh crap! I locked myself in! No! How could you do this to yourself, Bart? How could you do it? Ah! No! What do I do to get out? Somebody, let me out. Oh, there you go. Whew, only rust. I thought I was stuck in there for good. I love that moment, actually. That's pretty good. Even a kind king punishes wrong deeds. Boo-hoo. Oh, poor you. So yeah, on to Awakening. I haven't gotten that far, but basically they kind of hint at, you know, usually the Darkspawn are controlled by the Archdemon. Well, I beat the Archdemon, so at this point they are united, and that shouldn't happen. And they actually do take out my Grey Warden camp. So that's where I left off, but, you know, that's already a haunting concept that they are partied together, even though they shouldn't be. They should be in disarray right now with no Archdemon. So that's it. The other game that I actually was able to get to was J-Stars, which was recommended to me by my Geek News compatriots Romney and Aldo. Basically, it's Shonen Jump All-Stars, so it's a fighting game where you get to play as all of the popular Shonen Jump characters. So you can play as Naruto, you can play as Monkey D. Luffy, Kenshin Himura, Yusuke Urameshi, Goku, things like that. And I just barely started up the Luffy arc, which is fun. I like the fact that there's a story mode, which you can earn some currency and actually unlock some characters. And I will actually state this, that when we got together to do Gaming with the Geeks recently, one of the games we did was J-Stars. So I have no problem saying we might do it again. But in the meantime, people might have just noticed I unlocked a water tower area. If you notice, one of the guards in Walz actually talked about this, but the summon Shiva is actually in this tower. And so we're going to go grab her. But not in that way. And obviously, like any Final Fantasy game, the usual way for these summons to be acquired is you have to fight them. But first, we actually have to get to her. Hopefully that shouldn't take too long. But yeah, I started up the Luffy arc. I'm having fun with it. It's interesting to find out characters that you didn't even know were Shonen Jump characters. So, like, for example, I didn't know Saint Seiya was part of the that arc. I also I did not know that Kenshin was part of that. So, seeing a game where I can actually play as Kenshin is kind of fun. And I'm looking forward to going further in that. And who knows, maybe when we get to a round 2, I will have all the characters unlocked, and we might be able to do something very special for that. Who knows what time will tell. The other thing that I could get into, and I'm actually going to wait a little bit, because I think I'm almost to Shiva. Yep, there she is. I am Shiva. I think you can stand against... You think you can stand against me? Well, we shall see. Uh-huh. I love that it's fire in the middle of the crystal, and it should be ice. So this is Shiva, and she does have ice compatriots, and she does hurt pretty hard. But we're going to go ahead and take her out. So the other game that I actually got into was Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, because I am really trying to finish that. It has caught my interest. And if people remember the last time I talked about it, I had discovered a hooded man and I didn't know who he was. I have now discovered the identity of it, and I love it. So apparently he is a member of the Brotherhood of Light, which I didn't think would exist in this dark post-apocalyptic future, but they do. And his name just so happens to be Victor Belmont. Now, Castlevania fans might notice I didn't say Richter Belmont, I said Victor. As in V as in Victor, Belmont. So this is a Belmont we are not aware of, but in this canon, he is the son of Simon Belmont. I didn't think Simon survived the whole Mirror of Fate thing, but maybe he did, I don't know. It might have been. I don't remember, in all honesty, but yeah, so I met Victor Belmont, and he got to meet his great-great ancestor, and he actually, in return for Gabriel helping him out by giving the cure to the infection that's going around, he also helped me lure out an acolyte. Unfortunately, he had to use his own life to do it, so I wasn't happy about that, because I met Victor only for so long, and then he was gone, and yay, we beat Shiva! I am awesome. And now I have to summon Shiva. That and the ice rod. That'll come in handy. Shiva. Alright, now that we have that taken care of, it's on to the plot, which would be to take care of the problem at Walz Tower. But first, let's heal a little bit. I think that might be helpful. Don't you think? Alright, so while I'm doing this and making my way down, continuing on, so Victor sacrificed himself. I wasn't happy about that, but he also had the last piece of the Mirror of Fate that I needed to give Trevor, which started up a really weird cutscene where basically my inner fear, or Dracula's inner fury, shows itself and captures Trevor. Now, a lot of people might think I think that would be stupid. I actually don't in this regard, because, you know, we're seeing two sides of a coin here. He is Dracula, but he is also Gabriel Belmont. And Gabriel Belmont wants this all to be over. But there is an inner demon, literally, that is known by Dracula, that would enjoy all of the dark perks that he's gotten, and enjoys the rage that Dracula has endured for so long. And so I do like the fact that there is kind of like this dual personality. There is Gabriel, but there's also there's Gabriel, but there's also Dracula. That there is an inner entity called Dracula, and that boss fight was pretty dang cool. I think that pretty much answers like the inner demons that I was dealing with inside the old castle. I think that was it. But I especially loved it that Marie came out to help Trevor, and Gabriel had to have that got to have the heartfelt moment with little Trevor, basically saying, "Don't waste the gift that Victor has given you," and he basically marks the trail with where the acolyte you need to come across is. Now, I didn't realize that I'd already come across the first one. I didn't realize the research lady was the first one, so apparently I'm on the second one. But it's basically the head of a giant weapons manufacturer, which, you know what? The last one was a pharmaceuticals conglomerate. I'm not surprised by this at all, to be honest with you. And I basically kind of stopped right at that point. I didn't want to spoil that area too much for myself last night, especially. It was literally last night, and I was getting tired. But I also did look up a guide really quick, and I'm actually kind of surprised how fast I've gone through this story. But I did get an interesting new upgrade, which was the demonic wings, so now I can double jump. I love that idea. I think it works in a 3D environment, unlike most. You know, I've seen a lot of naysayers to Lords of Shadow 2 thinking that was kind of stupid, but I like the idea. Especially since it adds to a lot more exploration. And so here is Walz Tower. But yeah, that's pretty much all the games that I've been able to play the last week. So now that we are in Walz Tower, let's go ahead and move forward with the story. Oh, look, it's King Walz. Rulers up there. Please save the crystal. Yeah, you expect a big fat I told you so later. Oh, look. Sea point. We're going to take advantage of that. Now, I do actually have a little bit of business to brush under the rug really quick. So when we got done with the Timbo the Badass Elephant Let's Play Live, I actually didn't mention what the next game was going to be. I do now know, so if people want to tune in on Monday, it will be a PC one. And I might stick to PC for a little while. I've been having a lot of trouble trying to get consoles to work. Either with delay or with sound or whatnot, and people have noticed, and I don't want to deliver an inferior product to you guys. We will find a way to make the consoles work. I just need a little bit more experience, I think, with XSplit, so we might stick a little bit with PC games in the future. I'm just warning people in advance. If you guys want to see the console games, I will try and make them work to the best of my ability, but I can already tell you next week's Let's Play Live, and it is going to be King's Quest: A Night to Remember. Mainly because I'm a big point-and-click fan, and to not feature this remake of the granddaddy of all point-and-clicks would be sacrilege to me. So we are going to pick that one up. I have not played it yet. I'm going to be playing it blind and live for you guys, and I'm looking forward to every minute of it. I know a bunch of people who have done their own streams. I could watch them. I refuse. I want to be able to play this for myself because it looks like an interesting retelling of the first game. And I might be wrong about that, and if I am, that's great. If not, that's great too. So yeah, I'm looking forward to next Monday, and that will be at 5 o'clock. Mountain Daylight Time, but we are going to take on King's Quest: A Night to Remember, and if I'm not getting that title right, let me know. Oh, and look at this. Who's that dude? Who's that dude? Snuffleupagus is here? I don't get this. I have a feeling we have a boss fight ahead of us, so maybe just check my health. Okay, my magic's pretty good too. Okay. Alright, well, let's do this. Something's controlling it! I'm not gonna let you break that crystal! Something tells me you're not gonna stop it. Yeah. It's Snuffleupagus. Get ready! Oh, I'm sorry. Get ready! Every time I say get ready, I want to quote Tony, or, not Tony, Terry Bogard. And welcome to the Gorilla boss fight, which really does look like a Snuffleupagus knockoff. I can't even believe I referenced Sesame Street here. Alright, are we going to be able to make this work? I think so. It's just that this guy hits pretty hard. And like with some bosses, he can hit multiple times, so that's not fun, but it just gives extra work for Reina to do. Oh. Well, let's get him cured up, because that took almost all of his health. I have a feeling this is not going to end well, but I think we'll be okay. Alright, Gorilla is down. With a whopping 5 ability points going to my job classes. Alright, did we make it in time? The crystal! Uh-oh. Oh no. And no, we didn't. So the water crystal has now shattered. Too late. That's 2. Lord Galoof. You know me, buddy? Lord Galoof, forgive me. Couldn't save the crystal. Tell me, who am I? Must save Fire Crystal. But who am I, baby? Well, I guess we'll have to find out next week.